The time now is 10:35. 89.1 Alex FM. Complicated is the name of the track by Lila James. We are here to elevate your mind. It is Choose Tuesday. We choose business. So, Renaliena in studio for our business talk. Renalia, our guest, Kiena Ausegofatso Ramutwa. She actually runs the Atlasissimo Alexandra. So, I believe art is life, whatever, because she is a studied. She's a graphic designer. That's what she studied, and she also, what she did is she done fine arts. Then she's like a Picasso. She's like a Leonardo da Vinci. She's like Michelangelo and Giri. Bo Rasta.
Yeah.
Mara better than Rasta. I'll still fat the melo guy. Yeah.
Poor Rasta. No, I think he has improved so much.
No, Rasta is very strategic. It's not like Rasta had to go bend.
I think he's doing a public stand or something.
No, it's called guerrilla marketing.
Okay.
So how you make yourself relevant and famous and
yeah,
you need to know how to position your brand,
okay,
and how to market it. It's called guerrilla marketing. So what he does is he took, we exaggerated to a person like, hi, obviously, what's going to
pay attention to
psychological strategy
yes,
that everybody uses in advertising and all that stuff.
And after he's proud, even showing pictures or
Yes, ke tlo ba proud le nna ke re le santse le tla le tlo batla go reka di article. Go na le ba di rekang, ba di rekela
No way.
bona ke mang Vincent Mamang, ke mang the guy o lapenta ka yellow and was
Vincent van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Yeah.
O tlisisa le ena na etsa dio tse fela out of bo Picasso ka di abstract. Motho ga se pente fela shushu a ba re wala.
Even Lunella, yeah.
So give us. So how are you doing?
I'm alright. But guys for having me here. I'm good. Hey, Kamohawa Mudimu.
Kamohawa Mudimu, with everything that is happening, Montle Mona, but then I'm glad that you also are teaching Banabarona how to paint, because painting is great. Art is great.
Yeah.
Why? Because Ohono express the feelings put them there on the canvas or a drawer. Those kind of things. Why did you like it?
Art is so vast. From alluding to what you just said, we were on your canvas and whatever. It's so vast. It could be singing, could be dance, it's drama and all of that. But how I started now, well, I could say I was inspired from Kochayene.
Yeah.
Both my parents were artists without even knowing. Grew up in this one room, Ko 15, and how they divided the house. There was a bedroom, a kitchen, a dining area, TV. So all in that, there was architectural design, there was interior design, so much color, and they were also into fashion as well.
That's nice.
Yeah, so there was just a whole lot going on. And Cabo 92, then we were liberated in a sense, and we were able to leave Rieko Bodikolongte out of Alexander and branch out.
I know you went to my school.
Which one? Orange Grove?
National School
NSA. No, that's high school.
And then I went to Maryvale.
Maryvale.
When we went to Orange Grove.
Yeah, which was close by.
Close by.
Yeah, and that's where I made this term art. And that connection. No, man, must look on the artists, how they would mix their colors when they get dressed. The home was so lovely. That's art for me. And I started doing art classes from standard 3. I'm giving away my age now. And then I moved on to National School of the Arts. I did art till matric, and then from there I got design school to further understand what design is and multimedia. And that's when I branched out into the world.
Yeah.
And then I said, you say, right, so we're going to go to break first, but when we come back, it's very interesting. Now you took you draw, why you make them into moving arts, those kind of things, which is very interesting to know. And also I want to talk about, 1992, the multiracial school, why was it important extramurals there, which gave us the jobs today.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
why Moli Township, those things,
Disaleyo.
Kwenzahala, So when we come back, we'll chat more about it.
Okay, awesome.
Yo, life read bathong. This message was brought to you by the Gauteng Department of Health. Growing Gauteng together.
These are our Alexandra heroes. General Solly
I know, I'm keeping reminding these musical things. Zukulu featuring
Wow. Controversies with the military wing of the African National Congress in the 1970s. He served as a field commander fighting against the South African government
featuring
in the 1980s.
Madala
The
somebody.
South African Defence
Madala
Force
Kunene.
was incorporated into it in
Same, Nana.
1994. He was promoted to chief of the South
Umbrella
African
ba?
Army in 2004 and became chief
Can
of
I
the South
buy?
African National
Huh? Can I
Defence
buy
Force
my
in 2018.
child?
He
Yeah.
was
Oh,
decorated
okay.
with the
No,
Star
no
of
problem.
Bravery in silver, a Merit Medal in silver, the Unitas Medal,
I definitely know that this is Ntombi's favorite song. It's called Isangoma. Iminaki Mzukulu featuring Madala Kunene. Right here on 89.1 Alex FM. We're here to elevate your mind. We're talking about the business of art, Le Austerofazo, Ramudra. And she's telling us Horiena, who teacher Banaba Alexander about art. She also went to NSA to study further, then even took it further after high school.
Yeah.
So yeah, so so how fetsa we say o feditse go NSA, right?
Yeah, ke to NSA, then I went to the Design School of South Africa. It's a graphic design and multimedia. And higher multimedia includes your photography, illustration, web design, a bit intro on animation and
That's nice.
Then from there, I started working in media for TV as a graphics artist. Yeah.
And animation, it's very rare, ne?
It
Especially
is.
amongst black people,
It is.
and especially amongst women.
Yes,
Because
very
it's
much so.
Bashimani mostly about the animation.
Yeah, but animation is such a nice getting subject to study, and then you work on it, because normally art is just a still picture, right? But animation you make your artwork alive, and most guys, I think they're into animation because majita mangata rata, like your Dragon Ball Z, for instance. I'll make an example with that. So anime, most guys are into that. But suddenly we get caught up with being a mom, especially from Kasi. That whole thing, you become a mother too soon, and now suddenly you have to hustle and our boyfriends are so it's one thing that you forget about your dream, and you have to focus on being a mother. So animation requires a lot of work. But if like Gichor and I started this thing from standard 3, you become curious, and being exposed into TV, I had to learn how to animate, because TV itilamoka animation. The graphics you see on TV, they have animation like a logo, for instance. Let me make an example. Let's say ETV, you see that moving logo that was animated from just a still picture that someone designed. So animation is quite interesting in that sense. And I would advise maybe Batwabangata to tap into animation. Sheba music videos. Everyone in this room, I promise you, if there was a music video playing on TV now and it's just animation, you would sit down and watch. Unlike you see people just shooting, singing, we used to all that. But if you watch an animation, let me make an example. Kapinaya Tupac, What You Won't Do. I forgot the name of the song, okay, forgive me. But it was animated, right? And everyone was like, wow, that music video.
He wasn't
man enough for me. You understand? It's stuck on you. You don't forget such. So animation is good in that sense. And animation is not just cartoon, guys. As you make your logos move. You make so much pictures alive. So it's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I wanted to ask Hori, as we leave Mogasi, a lot of people they're not familiar with graphic designers and all that.
Yeah.
When you're designing and putting your things, maybe advertising and all that, you don't get criticized or anything. Stuff like uyahlanya, uyenzani, yeah.
Not at all. I'd say ke mabitso a sekgowa that people don't understand, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of graphic designers out there.
Mm.
Go tloga mo Mopheno go fitlha ko 20 or East Bank, go na le di-board everywhere, right? There's a guy who pentileng that board e ngwetseng gore shisanyama, whatever. That's
Yeah.
graphic design
Yeah.
on its own, But that person who did it is not even aware gore ke graphic designer, because he had to look at elements of art while creating that board. Straight lines, making the font bold or thin. That's all graphic design. So not really. I actually get bana ba bangata. Let's say I'm doing a mural mo strateng for
Yeah.
someone, for a company. They would sit and watch, firstly because ke ausi, so they really interested.
it's
How
really
ngwanyana o kgona
odd,
ho-
yeah.
And also, what are you doing? What is it that you're doing? No, it's mural art and you start explaining. So I think it's a matter of us teaching the community what art is. Because and it really does.
Has a lot
It
of
really
money.
does. Like for an animator, for instance, if you get like a good job, let's say SABC, for instance, to be an animator, your startup could be as an intern from 15,000 to 36, and depending on your ranking, and what you're good at. And you also work on your skill. You add more ways, video editing. You
Yes.
add more like videography.
Mm.
And like a weekend, you sit, you shoot there, you make your own content.
And you put it up.
So art is vast, it's very broad, it's huge. But then go na le stigma seo sa gore basadi it's only for Majita and all that.
Yeah.
But it's an escape, to be honest.
And I like gore ko dikolong bo 1992
Yeah.
normally go classing, like there was an art class
Yeah.
there was a sewing class, there was
Yes.
home economics
Yes.
class and all that. Why mo ka se re sena dio tse jwalo?
Batlong tshwarelane, I'm going to be honest, our teachers are not interested. Last year ne rile ko Ralogile ko 15,
Yeah.
and we were given a group of grade 8 learners, about two classes, and we merged them together and we started talking. There was an incident, so we were trying to gauge gore di ntshang gantle ka lona, guys.
Yeah.
And they expressed gore no, our teachers are interested korona. What they will say is, yeah, mina umntwana mungena kuphi
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
bus.
Mela.
Yeah, so niyafeyila niyapasa ayifuni mina le.
Yeah.
What happened to you having an interest in what your child wants, or because they are your kids, right? As a teacher, you're their mother throughout the whole day.
Exactly.
So you are there to encourage, you are there to enforce certain things that can help them as they leave. So we got into the classroom, and the first thing, we introduced ourselves, and we said to them, we are in a boardroom today, we're not in a classroom, because you guys have a potential of becoming CEOs. And we tapped into what is your talent, what do you like, and we found out there were singers, there were artists, soccer players, dancers, and all of that. These teachers don't even have an idea of what these children love. They're just focusing on books, academics, and not everyone is an intellect. So we'll understand.
And also like at the academic, I
Yeah.
think teacher, it will help them if they were really interested kobane.
Yeah.
Because then it will show you gore ngwana o absorb a jwang.
Yes.
Because as if you're a arts and culture kind of a child,
Yeah.
you know gore ha motho wa mo teacher o absorb a jwang. They mostly photographic memories, or said
True.
all the hali so whatever, mostly it's physical stuff.
Yeah.
So motho ha studisha and say dilo, a di beya o
A
mo
songnyana
music,
yes.
or in adlale music yo cause ki memory ele tlo busa dio tsele.
That is so
that
true.
makes it easy for kids like that.
Yeah, because
you know.
my teacher, go Orange Grove, how she found out that I was good at art was when she was teaching me. I drew pictures to understand what
Mm.
she's saying. I'm dyslexic, you know, so most artists are dyslexic.
Yes.
So for me, I was able to draw pictures to understand what she's saying.
Mm.
And getting home, doing my homework, those pictures helped me a lot. So as we were going through class, there were kids drawing. Motafle, they don't know us.
Yeah.
And they are used to people coming in, bashing them. Yeah, like Kenya. Lona le batla le na future in this
Yeah.
is, you know. So we, as I'm walking around, Gamona, what drawer in, and we started talking about what it is that they really need, and we found out that they need a space when people are going to pay attention to their needs and actually listen to them. To show
Connection.
there was a
and-
connection just
Mm.
for one day. So we really want to implement on helping the kids, and I think this is why I'm saying, guys, I want to give back what I learned. Not everyone can afford to go to these private schools
Yeah.
and ingakir, but let's bring it back. Mokasi.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, you know, let me tell you a little story about my grandfather. I never really got to sit down and talk to him and whatever, but he was really a great man. And Tato, go Soweto, right?
Mm.
So my grandfather was really like huge. He did a lot of things for Soweto, and I don't want to say his surname, but he did a lot of things for Soweto, you know, and he was considered one of the richest black men back then, you know. But I never got to sit down and talk to him, and his legacy or whatever he knew never got to be passed down. So it's there, go as Park, which I find as a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he could have, I say like a school or something to say, guys, okay, let me teach you this, you know, and share this with everybody else, so that when I leave, I left something for you guys, instead of just keeping it in the family.
But that's why also museums are important, exhibitions are important.
Exactly.
You know, to tell stories of other people.
Yes.
And if you have
Storytelling.
legacies to tell,
Yeah.
tell your legacies and so forth.
Yeah.
So, and I see your jacket, Leona, it's
Yeah.
all, you know,
Very
drawn.
creative.
It's one of those, yeah.
And there's this thing also, ya gore batho ha ba etsa graffiti, na ba re ba vandalize.
Hey,
You know,
why want-
and gona nong now it's a new thing. Ya
Mm.
gore mural up, wall murals must be
murals.
up. Or
Yes.
yes.
Even the
Kube
government
vibe.
is now using wall
Yes.
murals.
Yes, they
where
are
they
to
would-
send messages and things
why
like that.
what-
But before, never say accepting. things
Never
like that. But do
khatella.
you think the government now will fully adopt the art world?
I think they have an idea of it. I think they need to hire proper people that know what art is. You can't just take someone who's passionate about accounting or maths or science and put them in an art space. They will never develop that space.
Because when I was in Western Cape,
Yeah,
everywhere you went, it's just art.
yeah,
And it's sculptures. It's
Yeah.
what. You are It's like now I know they were doing the displays about ko Mandela Square gona moo.
okay.
Go Senten. You see the whole thing. Go na le mo ba etsang the exhibition where they put their art out and,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Mm,
So I think, like you're saying, go na le class study runang.
Yeah.
You're gonna do exhibition, as you said,
Soon,
very
yes.
soon. Where le bana ba na to kenya dilo tsa bona
Yeah.
gore di exhibit
So they can be exposed
Yeah.
to the world.
Yeah.
So we invite people from the States, you know, as tourists, Bafeta, where we at, they look at the art and they're able to buy. I think that will introduce the business element to art for Banaba.
Yeah, and
So
to
they
make
realize,
money and all
mm.
that and understand the
Who
business of
can
art.
be an entrepreneur
Yes.
using art, yeah.
So how do they get hold of you?
Through WhatsApp, my number is there. And then they can also...
What's your number?
Okay, it's 081
Yeah.
365 3952.
And abapateli bana for the art classes.
Honestly, those that pay, and then honestly a group that we work with that are under us.
Okay.
Go Kula Marlene Foundation.
Okay.
Those are the kids that were selected. But then there are parents that know their children need extramurals. They have then it's 100 rand per hour for the skill, which
Okay.
includes all the design elements. We teach you how to paint, draw, and then also we introduce Photoshop, which I think is so cool because now you are able to design logos for people, and then we take it from there depending on how good you are in what you're doing.
Thank you very much, Tsegofazo,
Thank you
for
so
coming
much
through,
for having
and
me.
Congratulations,
Thank
and
you.
we wish you very well with
Thank
what
you
you're
so
doing for
much.
what the our youth, because they do need this to get them out of drugs and all this situation.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Before they become zombies.
Yeah. It's time for the news link that we just finished our second hour.